Hello, and happy new moon in Aries. I am just coming here in full Aries fire crazy energy. This is my fourth time trying to film this video, so this is just how it is. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know why I'm doing these videos, but spirit or something is telling me to do it and telling me to put the information out there. So here I am. I am not perfect. Don't know anything about technology or filming or editing or anything like that. I wasn't intending to be on camera today. I'd had it all set up nice on my oracle desk where I typically do my readings, and it was all nice and pretty and lit up with candles, and it was gorgeous, and then the sound didn't work. So here I am back with my old trusty computer camera, and here I am with wild, crazy hair in my gardening clothes, and that's just how it's going to be today. So, let me get some candles lit here behind this, because I want to emphasize the fire energy of today. I felt this fire energy coming all through the week. All this week I've been feeling this energy of like moving and action, and I'm like running and like physically feeling that energy, but having to slow myself down and remind myself that yes, it's good to like wrap up all of the projects from the rest of the week or from the previous month and previous intentions, but we're slowing down and planning and waiting to use this energy to move into the next moon cycle and save that energy for the next moon cycle. So, oh, I forgot to put I have stones to go with each pile as well. Like I said, I had to move everything. Oh, it's in my pocket. I had to move everything from upstairs to downstairs, and here we go. That's just how this is going to go today. Oh, these are wrong as well. So, I'm not going to light the candles yet. I'm going to save that for when we dive into the cards. But just to get started here, we have group 1, and it goes with this card, Hope. Oh, this might actually be better because I can zoom in closer. Okay, so an idea like a single acorn can start a wondrous forest. So it goes with this orchid calcite obelisk. And I always like to point out that it is an obelisk because it is square, whereas a generator has 6 sides. It's a hexagon. So this makes it have a pyramid on top. So the orchid calcite obelisk goes with this beautiful red beeswax candles, and link for the candles will be in the description box below. So that is pile number 1, if you are feeling called to those energies. Pile number 2 says, the night, find comfort in the night where the world switches off and the stars burn bright. And it is paired with, this black shungite pyramid and a black candle. And then the last one, pile number 3, is paired with this growth card. The tallest oak tree once started as a seedling. Don't be afraid to start something new. And that goes with this yellow candle. And a citrine sphere. So, pile number. So what you do is you pick your pile and then you click the timestamp in the description below. That will take you directly to the reading for pile number 1, pile number 2, or pile number 3. All right, so let's get into the reading. Hi, group 1. Welcome. If you have chosen the red candle, I'm going to light that for you now, as well as the orchid calcite obelisk. Then this reading is for you for the new moon in Aries for April 2021. Before I forget again, I'm going to kind of wrap up the readings at the end in a closing statement, as well as kind of talk about the Aries new moon in general. So if you want to, there's a 4th timestamp at the end, which will kind of just wrap everything together and say how all 3 piles related to each other and just about the new moon in general. So here we go. And I'm just going to highlight this again. I love this little deck. This is the Whispering Woods Oracle. I always put all the decks that I use in the description box below as well. So it says, hope, an idea like a single acorn can start a wondrous forest. So originally I had just chosen the tarot cards and then chosen the oracle cards on camera, but since that sound didn't work, we've got an oracle card. I think I might choose another one on camera just for the fun of it. But so our first card here is the 5 of Wands. The 4 of Wands. And the Sun. So right off the bat, this is all fire energy. I'll pull you a little closer. So that you can still see the cards. Okay. Can we go even closer? That works, right? Okay. All right, so first of all, we've got the 5 of Wands and the 4 of Wands, but notice how they're out of order. I usually don't really put too much emphasis on the order of the cards, but in this case, I feel like it's really significant because you might feel like you're moving backwards. The 5 and the 5s in general sometimes symbolize conflict in some way or another. The Wands especially, because like visibly in the picture it's people arguing, but if you kind of look at it from afar, it kind of just looks like a bunch of kids playing with sticks. So it's one of those arguments where like everyone's yelling at once, but nobody's really getting their point across, and just butting heads and arguing for the sake of arguing, conflict for the sake of conflict. Then with the 4 afterwards, like look at the floor and how organized and structured it is. Usually we're moving. When you have that structure and balance and stability, you need conflict to make you move and change and grow. But in this case, you might feel like you're going backwards. But I think that maybe you need that stability to go backwards. The Four of Wands can also symbolize a homecoming. So you might be like going back home, taking a break. Like the 2020 was hard on everybody, so maybe you're having to move back in with your parents or move in with getting a roommate, something to help you share the financial struggle that we are all going through. And the reason I bring this up, because this reminds me so much of a situation when I was in my mid to late 20s. My husband and I had to move back home and move in with my parents, and I used to beat myself up all the time while we were living there. I was just like, I can't believe it. I'm an adult and I'm living with my parents. Like, I can't get, like, I need to get my life together. And there was this one instance where my husband and I had just gotten home from work. I think maybe we hadn't gotten in an argument on the way home or something. So he, I don't know, like stormed off, and I was like following him, and we had to walk by my dad to get to the place that the room that we were living in. And I just remember like feeling like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm like arguing with my husband in front of my dad. I'm living with my parents. Like, I couldn't believe it, and I hated it. Like, I was like, I should be more. I should be better. But as I was walking past my dad and up the stairs, this voice said to me, use this, like, this time is important, and like, don't waste this time, I think is what it said. And I was just like, I mean, don't waste this time. Like, my parents aren't old. Like, they're going to be around forever. Like, what are you talking about? And I did consciously try to make an effort to, I think that night I actually went downstairs and actually hung out with my dad and watched TV with him, and we had fun and laughed and talked. And that period of time living with my parents did mend some things with our relationship. And then 4 months after we moved out, he was diagnosed with terminal cancer, and he did end up passing away. So those are the best years that I have with my father as an adult. Not many people get that opportunity, and not many people lose their father so young. But it was just like this conflict. Like, I had to go home. I had to have that time with my father. I had to save money so that we could buy a house and so that I could start my own business. And that's where I am today. And I will never, ever forget those years as much as I beat myself up about it. I mean, those are precious years, and I hold them dearly to my heart. So even if you're having to take a step backwards, it's going to eventually help you to move forward into the sun. And the sun is like one of the most joyous, happiness, abundant card of, oh, now the lighting's going to be different because I moved it. Well, you saw it. But now for the other decks, how am I going to get it to focus? Okay. Good enough. So even if you're having to take a step back and take a pause, and the new moon gives us that opportunity to pause, reflect, plan, and then move forward and use that energy to create throughout the new moon cycle, or throughout the moon cycle. And because of the Aries fire energy, which we can see, I mean, sun is fire, wands are fire, and I also like to bring the Gods and Titans Oracle deck in for Aries moons. And the card that we chose for you is the Jade Emperor. And I really love this in combination with your reading, specifically like we were saying, organization. But I mean, look at the resemblance of the Four of Wands and the Jade Emperor. The way the wands are placed here are almost look like pillars, which is very similar to the Emperor in the tarot deck, or even the High Priestess, because they both have these pillars on sitting in between them. And even though he's not sitting in between pillars, these lanterns or banners, I guess they are, is very reminiscent of this symmetry and balance and stability that's created by the Four of Wands, but just for four in general. So he's here to help you get organized, get your shit together, and ask for his help. Ask for the Jade Emperor. Maybe you can print out a picture and put this on your altar. But there's a little ritual that comes with this deck that just basically has you asking for help from the Jade Emperor for even just like cleaning your house, decluttering, getting organized. So you ask for him. Here he is. I humbly call upon you, Jade Emperor. And it asks you to light incense, go throughout your house, and ask him to simplify, clarify, protect, and declutter your space. It also says that you can sprinkle sea salt around and use this chant 3 times. Noble Emperor, every place has a place. Noble Emperor, every item has a home. Noble Emperor, Heavenly Grandfather, make sense of chaos, transform and order. Allow me to discard cleanly and treasure carefully. So I'm just going to see if I can get that. If you need to pause it and write that down. That's a really wonderful exercise to do. And I eventually will make a video of what I do every new moon, which is walking around my house, clearing, decluttering, and staging to clear the energy, but also just cleaning, like the mundane cleaning that we all have to do all the time. So set your new moon intentions around getting organized. Sit down with your planner if you have the Just a Phase moon planner, and get everything organized this month. You're probably going to be really great at taking action towards your plans, and this moon is just going to highlight and emphasize that energy. Oh yeah, I was going to pick a card. Let's do a Soul Truth. Because I do want you to remember to take a moment to pause on the new, like this weekend, going into Sunday, and then maybe like on Monday, really start taking the steps towards acting on your intuition or on your intentions. So take time out tonight to honor the new moon, rest and digest. What I tell my clients, or how massage helps you get into rest and digest mode. Eat some good food, relax, allow yourself to digest that food, digest the information from the last moon cycle. And let's pick a journal question. They're written right on the outside of the card, so I don't want to look at it. Oh, interesting. Am I communicating my needs? Your needs matter. What are you needing right now that you haven't communicated? What are you afraid of? Is it possible that you are fearing? Is it possible that what you are fearing is not true? Journal these answers. What are my needs? Am I saying no and yes enough based on my desires? Am I telling my full truth? Do I believe my needs matter, and do I share them with others? Do I ask for what I want? When communicating my needs, what am I resisting and with whom? What do I need in order to feel safe enough to express my needs? And if you need to take a picture and pause that to journal about later. I love this deck because it's so plain and simple. It asks these questions, and maybe you need help to get organized, so ask for help to get organized. I need help getting organized. Somebody help me get organized. But yeah, journaling practice is the perfect thing to do on a new moon. Just get all of your desires, your worries, your fears, get it all out on paper and burn the worries and fears, and then hold on to the intentions and the desires, and make a plan for making it happen. So thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for the closing statement at the end, and I will hopefully see you there. Thank you so much. Hi, Group 2. If you chose the black candle, I'm going to light that for you. And the shungite pyramid, then this reading is for you for the new moon in Aries for April 2021. Also, I'm going to light some sage for you. So, if you heard about my technical difficulties earlier, I've already done these readings a couple times. So, take a deep breath. I'm going to light some sage for you. And I want to let you know, whatever you're going through, I see you. And if you need help, ask for help. If you want a friend and a pen pal, you can email me. I'm going to keep the sage up here this time, actually. So, when I first did this reading earlier today, I almost put the cards back in the deck and reshuffled and did another one. But that's not how I roll. I'm going to come to you with messy hair and no makeup and tell you that I've done this a million times and I just pick myself up and start over again. Because I've been here. They're out of order. I've been here. The first card is the Tower. There was even a point in my life where I stopped reading the tarot cards because I would pick the Tower card all the time. And I was like, I'm freaking sick of this. Starting over. I'm sick of my life crumbling down into pieces. And I just stopped reading the tarot. And while I'm not telling you to stop reading the tarot, it did introduce me. I was like, I'll try out these oracle cards and see what they're all about. And oracle cards tend to be a little bit nicer and gentler, but that's why I like to combine them with the tarot, because I feel like it helps you just get a really nice, rounded, clear picture of everything. And it's a little more gentle than having the Tower be your daily card read for like an entire year. So I'm telling you, I've been in the Tower, and it's actually kind of nice to have everything crumble down so that you could build back up from the ashes. We also have the Page of Swords. There we go. We also have the Page of Swords, and as you can see, he's surrounded by clouds, but he's looking around, he's trying to figure things out. So when you put him next to the Tower, I kind of got the feeling when I did this reading earlier that you may have seen this coming. He's looking back at the Tower and like, oh yeah, I kind of should have seen that coming. But the Page of Swords, he's kind of like a student. He's all about learning and growing, and the sword cards in general are all about wisdom. So what is the wisdom that you've gotten from whatever this Tower situation is? You're always able to look back and see the bigger picture and see the silver lining. So the third card that we have here is Death. And while most people get scared of the Death card, the Death card is actually a really great card because it means new beginnings, it means growth, and we are so last year we all went through a Tower card. The entire world experienced exactly what the Tower card represents, and that's you have to destroy and destruct before you can rebuild and grow. All of our social structures, our government, the financial system, everything, it just keeps the medical system. It kept piling up last year, and we had to let it crumble. We had to let it fall so that we can start to rebuild and grow. The Death card is all about birth. That's the simple cycle of life: death, growth, rebirth. Oh, and I loved that this word came up for you from, this is the Whispering Woods little mini deck. And it says, find comfort in the night where the world switches off and the stars burn bright. Nighttime is it's like my favorite time of day. I stay up until like 1, 2, 3 in the morning because that's the time that I read. It's the time that I journal. It's the time that I pull cards for myself. It's the house is quiet. Everyone's asleep. The world is asleep. Being an empath, I'm feeling the energies of my neighbors, of the world, and society in general. And it's a lot. But when at nighttime, there's only a few crazy people up, and they're easy to just like push their energy away. Whereas having all this energy coming at you all at once. So I love the night, and I mean, we can all see the beauty in the night if we actually stop and take a look up at the stars and at the moon. And you will eventually see the good come out of whatever it is. It's like the phoenix. Think of the phoenix and Aries and fire, and you're going to burn all that shit to the ground, and you're going to rise from the ashes like the beautiful phoenix. And it keeps getting better and better. We've got this god here. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Typhon. I want to say typhoon. But he's all about anger and rage. And I'm going to read from the book about him because I didn't know anything about him. And it's kind of interesting because I think the story was, so he's Gaia made him, let me see. So, okay, let's first describe him. He says, he is perhaps one of the most terrifying titans of ancient Greece. Gargantuan in size, Typhon possesses a huge scaly body like a dragon and the head and torso of a man. Put the picture back up there for you. His eyes shoot fire, but the most frightening thing about him is seemingly unquenchable rage. Typhon is the last child of Gaia. Gaia took the side of the Titans during their war with Zeus and the Olympians. The Titans and all who fought with them were defeated and many died. This gave Gaia a hankering for revenge. So Gaia created Typhon as a way of expressing her anger and an expression of rage. So whatever's going on with this tower situation, you probably are really angry about it. And this is telling you to express your anger in a positive way. One of my favorite things, I'm a Leo sun and my Mars is in Leo. So when I get angry, I get angry and I scream and I yell and I throw things and I really enjoy breaking things. That's not the best way to handle things, but it makes me feel better. So if you have a way to scream at the top of your lungs when nobody's home, or scream into a pillow, or dig a hole in your backyard and scream down into it, let that shit out. And another thing I love to do is to write everything down. Like every mean, nasty, horrible thought that you have in your brain, get it out of your body onto paper and then light it on fire. It's the best way to get everything, because nobody's going to see it. No one's going to see how mean and nasty you can be. It's just going to burn away in the smoke and turn into ash, and then you can rebuild from that. But you have to release it. You can't like push this anger down inside. So he's here to tell you, yeah, I'm sorry you're pissed off, but you're smart and you can figure it out and you're going to get through it. Don't let your anger eat you up inside, but don't let it explode on the wrong person. I wanted to bring, wait, there was something else. Oh yeah, this was interesting that just because I didn't know about this and I thought it was interesting. So he's known as the father of monsters. He he sired a bunch of famous offspring. So one of his kids is the Sphinx, which I thought was really interesting because the Sphinx is just all about intelligence. And so she slays anyone not able to answer the riddles, like she guards the gate and asks you a riddle. If you don't get it right, you can't pass through. So I love that came up with the Page of Swords, because the page is all, he's learning, he's knowledgeable, and the swords in general is an air energy, is about wisdom. So I thought that was really interesting. And also Cerberus, the three-headed dog, who guards the gates of hell, is also Typhon's offspring, son. So I thought that was just interesting. I mean, again, with the death card here, so it's all about changing your perspective of seeing the good and the bad, seeing the light and the dark, and holding on to that light, and not letting your anger, resentment, frustration get the best of you. And in all seriousness, I have been there. It sucks, and I'm really sorry. And if you need someone to reach out to, you can reach out to me. I will listen. I'm a really good listener. Most people say that. So I wanted to put a little light into this reading for you, just to remind you. So I chose from this oracle deck, the Work Your Light, and we got this protection card. Call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieve. So I really feel like you are going through something right now, and I'm seriously, I wish I could give you the biggest hug and give you whatever you need, but it's really important to protect yourself. Don't let your anger get the best of you so that you let your guard down and just explode, Shungite is a really great stone to work with for protection and also for filtering. So it's even going to filter your water. It's going to filter EMF and out of the air. It's going to filter negative energy. So I picked that for today. I picked the pyramid because it radiates, and I picked the black candle for protection. If you want to do any spell work with candle magic, use a black candle. Any black stone in general, black obsidian, black tourmaline, black kyanite, they're all going to be cleansing and protective. So make sure that you're protecting yourself, putting up strong boundaries, and calling your power back. I demonstrated this in one of the other videos, but what I do, and I try to do this as often as possible, every night before I go to bed, I do it after every massage appointment, is I sit with two clear quartz crystals, just like regular crystal points, sit with one in my hand pointing in and then one pointing out, and I call all of my energy that's scattered back in through my left hand, and I can feel it go up my arm, and then I let go of anything that's not mine or any negative energy, and I let it go out the right hand. And I just sit in meditation and feel that energy flowing in and flowing out. Sometimes I will hold, along with the clear quartz, I'll hold a black kyanite as well, so that it's being cleansed as I'm pulling it in, and it's being cleansed as I'm sending it out, so that whoever it goes back to, it's transmuted, and so that when I call my energy back in, it is clear and cleansed and doesn't have anybody else's crap stuck to it. And every morning before I wake up, I put a bubble around me, and I have to clear and cleanse all day long because I'm constantly absorbing and getting other people's energy. So take care of yourself. Seriously, I'm here if you need it. These candles will be linked in the description below if you need some protection candles. And just remember that there is light in the dark. If you want to stay tuned and chat a little bit more about the Aries new moon, click on the closing statement timestamp below, and that will take you directly to the end, and I'll kind of wrap up all 3 of the readings together, as well as talk about the Aries new moon. So thank you so much. Take care of yourself, and seriously, big hugs and love to you. Hi, group 3. If you chose the yellow candle, I'm going to light that for you now. And the growth card with the citrine sphere, this message is for you for the new moon in Aries for April 2021. All right, so the last reading was a little heavy, and like I said, I've already filmed this like 3 times, so hopefully the 3rd time is the charm. So I did light some sage, and the rain just started, so there's hopefully some beautiful sounds in the background. All right, so card number 1. I don't even remember. Oh yeah, this one. Okay. So, there we go. All right, the first one is the 10 of Wands. I remember this one now. This was so interesting. Okay. Judgment. And the 10 of Pentacles. So, check that out. We've got, oh wait, let me hold all 3 of them. All right, we've got 10, 10, 10, and 10. 10 of Wands, Judgment is 20, and then the 10 of Pentacles. So 10 is all about completion. So whether you're at the end of a cycle right now, or you're going to be using this new moon cycle to be completing something, like it's happening. You're there, like you are done. The 10 of Wands sometimes symbolizes that you've kind of taken on too much. Like you can see he's carrying all these wands, and he might be struggling a little bit. He's kind of leaning hunched over. Like sometimes it indicates that you have taken on too much, but still you are at the end of this, and that it might be that you just have to use your judgment and use this new moon to prioritize what it is that you actually want to physically take on. And it's all going to lead you to abundance. This is one of the most abundant cards in the tarot. We've got a couple here. There's a child, some dogs, an older person. It's like all generation families. Maybe you're going to be like getting together with your grandparents who you haven't seen in a while, or your parents and you haven't seen in a while. It's this is like a really cool reading to have. So because of the new moon in Aries, I always like to pick from the Gods and Titans deck for that masculine fire energy. So we have Hades, death. But everyone's scared of the death card. If you have had readings before, you probably know by now that death is just the end of a cycle, which is obviously reflected with all these 10s. You're at the end of the cycle, you're ready for something new, you're ready to move forward, you're ready to keep going. So earlier when I did this, because like this is kind of like, okay, we're at the end, now what? I was kind of like, well, where do we go with this? Like, this is obviously you are ending something and you are beginning something new. So I wanted to pick get a little more information, and got another oracle card here, and it is Eagle. See from a higher perspective. So I think this is kind of just about you taking a step back and looking at this fruitful garden that you have created for yourself, this whatever this thing is that you've accomplished, and just taking a step back, getting a bird's eye view of the situation, and congratulate yourself. Like, good job, you have totally completed this cycle of whatever it is. It could have been a project, it could have been a goal, a job, just whatever it is that you had your eye set on, you completed it. And maybe you're still like in that like working hard to get to the finish line zone, and you're not really seeing like, oh shit, I did accomplish this. Like, whoa. I also picked another card from the Soul Truth deck just to get some little journaling questions for you to maybe like take a pause on this new moon and reflect on things. And this is the one that came up. To whom am I comparing myself with right now? Oh, and this just made me think of something else. So what are you able to see in another if that's only visible because it is within you? Ready to be brought out, shine light on the feeling of not enough and see the truth. All that you need and want is within you. And today's soul action is stop comparing and start creating. So this is something that I think we all do as we look at Instagram photos or Facebook photos, and we're like, oh, look at that happy family. Like, I wish I had that. And you're so busy comparing, or look at that successful business, and you're so busy comparing that you're not actually seeing like what's right in front of you, that you are successful, you have completed. Stop judging yourself and see that you have created something wonderful. And someone just recently one of my teachers was saying this to our group, like, stop comparing your 1 to somebody else's 10. So like stop comparing yourself to someone who has been in business for 1, 2, 10, 15 years, where you're just starting out at day 1. You can't compare that. You can't, because you don't have the 5 years of work to put into that, or to get there. Like, you will get there eventually, but you're not there yet. So don't compare like your Instagram photo of, hey, look, I did these readings today, to somebody else who's been doing readings for 5-10 years and actually knows how to use a camera. And like, I should not be comparing myself to those people, even though they're able to have beautiful and 1 million followers. It's just simply like appreciate where you are in the moment, like where you are at. Yeah. So congratulations, happy new moon in Aries, and I hope I'm not forgetting something. Like I said, I've done this like 3 times, so yeah, congratulations on whatever it is that you are accomplishing or using this new moon energy. But I think definitely just pause and reflect on everything that you've accomplished so that you're able to make steps to move forward and enter the next phase, the next rebirth of your life. So stay tuned for a closing statement at the end if you are interested in hearing more about how all 3 of the readings compare to each other and how they relate to the new moon in Aries. And if not, thank you so much, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Hello. Thank you so much if you are still here and standing by. I just wanted to really thank you for bearing with me. If anybody even sees this, still don't know if it's going to upload. I really enjoy doing these, and until it starts to get frustrating, and part of me is like why are you doing this? Why are you putting yourself through this? And I really have no idea, and I don't know. Like, something is pushing me to put myself out there and do this, so here I am doing it, despite how much I am struggling with it. So, I don't know. Here we are. I could feel, I don't know if I said this already, I could feel this Aries new moon like a week ago, like all week. I've been like feeling like you're revving up for something. Um, and I always feel very um, energetic and like I'm ready to get started on something during an Aries moon. In general, like throughout the month, even if it's not a new moon or full moon or whatever, I'm still always feeling that energy. I think I mean, I do have a lot of fire in my chart. It's not Aries. I have a lot of Leo and I have a lot of Sagittarius. So I guess like just throwing in that extra fire is really what gets me going. So that was reflective in the readings. We had a lot of wands energy come up, especially in the first reading we had two. And then the third reading, we had one card that was a wand, which is a fire card. But then the center one, we've had this big old guy here who was all fire. So yeah, let's take a look at all the gods that we picked today, because I do feel like Aries has that divine masculine energy. And I just want to point out that with as we're entering into this age of a more feminine way of doing things, which is awesome and great, I think it's important to remember that the masculine and feminine work together, and that's what creates harmony. It's not like we're going to enter this feminine age where we're just going to forget about the masculine, like when we entered a patriarchy before, we forgot about the feminine, and that was the problem. Like we have to have both of them. So it's really important to maintain that balance. And this card just popped up, so I'm going to take this out because I had chosen one of these cards in all the readings, but I think I forgot one. So I was just going to do one for the collective, and I'll have that one that jumped out be the one. Yeah, so it's important to remember the masculine. And the masculine part doesn't have to be bad. Like everything, there's bad sides to the feminine as well. So divine masculine energy is strong and protective and stable. Protective is really like if you've ever worked with male deities, when you feel that presence there, it feels like you've got someone holding you up, and it's powerful. It's not a scary, like intimidating kind of thing. It's like a motivating, like courageous feeling. At least that's how I have felt when I work with male deities. I've only worked with a few, and it's different, and it's just different. So there is a good side to the masculine, is what I wanted to point out. So we had the Jade Emperor, who's helping us get structured and organized, and that's the new moon is perfect to plan everything, despite feeling that Aries energy and wanting to move and take action right away. It's important that we remember to plan. The Typhon god was here to remind us that even if you're angry and frustrated, to go about it in a structured and what am I trying to say? Productive way. Just butting heads and yelling and screaming and throwing things like I usually like to do is not productive, and it's not going to find a solution to the problem. So expressing your anger and fire, and that's important to remember as a fire sign, as a Leo with a Mars in Leo. It's really important for me to remember not to explode and just go into this blazing forest fire. Like I've done that before. And then Again, we had Hades back with fire. And just remembering that death always means rebirth. There was a lot of ending of cycles going on through these readings. So it's just remembering that just because something's dying or that one door is closing, it means another one's going to open. It means something new is happening, something new and fresh and clean and better is happening. So, yeah. So, if you did not get a Soul Truth journal question in your reading, here is one for you now. It says, what can I do to make a difference? What keeps you up at night? What makes you cringe when you think about it, such that every ounce of you screams, no more? Where can you create purpose out of your pain? That is interesting. Make a difference in someone's life today, big or small, because all of it makes a difference. I'm just going to hold that up there, so if you need to pause it and write it down, that is like going to have me, where can you create purpose out of pain? And where can you take your anger and make something good of it, resolving a conflict instead of just exploding? That's going to be one to think about. So I'm going to hopefully make a difference in your life by uploading these readings. I'm not even going to go into the technical difficulties, but it's been rough. And obviously, I didn't do one last month. I apologize. I thought I had it all figured out today, and then it didn't work. But I think that I am able to upload them now, even if that means I'm going to have to film on the computer camera again instead of a nicer camera, which actually I kind of don't even notice the difference in the video quality. But anyways. I really appreciate your support, and make sure I'm going to put a link in the description. The second part of the Just a Phase Moon Planner is available for pre-order, and it's really important that you get your order in now so that I know how many to order so that I don't have to do a second order like I did last time. This is the first one. The new one is almost identical, except it has a dark cover. It's like basically the mirror image of this. It's with a dark background, and it's for June through December of 2021. And I'm really excited that it's finally done, and I'm anxious to get it ordered and so that I can hold it in my hands. And I really appreciate your support. Thank you so much. I just thank you. So click on the link below. You save $5 if you pre-order it, and then once I've ordered them, the price will go up a little bit, but that's just to cover all of my costs. And if you have a copy of this one, make sure you are a member of our Facebook group, because you have an additional 10% off coupon in the Facebook group. Candles will be linked below, because I'm trying to move off of Etsy and get my own shop going. So all of that is all in the same space at priestessofwonderland.com. And yeah, thank you for your support. I hope you have a happy new moon. Take care, take rest, plan, and get organized, and I'll see you next time.